Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. Wasn't nice. It wasn't a nice day in the markets today. It wasn't a nice day in Bitcoin and the miners. I mean, we were down like 2%, 3% on Bitcoin, but the miners were down like 10%. Talked about yesterday how the miners were actually doing pretty good. They were trading sideways. And what do we have today? The miners go down like 10%. It seems like somebody's out to get me or something. I don't know. But we got that to talk about what happened today with the miners. We got the FOMC meeting tomorrow. What else do we have here? We'll take a look at the miners' enterprise value against their market caps. It's kind of interesting to take a look at there. That's why I say this is totally insane, right? That the way they're being valued right now is just crazy. But we'll go over that. I did also prepare the quarterly metrics for the miners, except I don't have HUD 8 in there and Bitfarms. But we'll do that probably in tomorrow's video. We'll get into the other things today. And what else do I have here? I think that's about it. So we'll get through all this stuff as always. You guys know the drill. Non-financial advice for intent only. Do your own research. Full disclosure below that. And as always, if you could hit the like button, wow, I can't speak today. Hit the like button and subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. Let's take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin here. So Bitcoin was down today after got close again to the 200 simple day moving average. It fell below it, and we actually went down to a low of, what was it, 81,125. We closed at 82,698. We were down about 1.56%, but we were definitely lower at one point. The miners didn't do good today. MicroStrategy didn't do good today as well. Markets didn't do good as well. They were in the red also. But yeah, I mean, we're still trading like we're choppy, but we're trading sideways here on Bitcoin. Who knows when this is going to end? We got the FOMC meeting tomorrow. Maybe at that point, depending on Powell, right? Does he sound hawkish or dovish? I think that will determine where things kind of go. I'm not expecting anything major tomorrow from FOMC meeting. I'm not expecting any rate cuts, at least not yet. It'd be a surprise if we did get it. But I'm not expecting it. I don't think most of America is not expecting it. So it's just going to be mainly about what does he actually say? What is his message like? What is his tone like? Hawkish, dovish. I think that will set a tone going forward here a little bit. And also what he says about the tariffs as well. How are they looking at it? I'm sure they're looking at it, but does he mention it in the statement there at all? That'll be interesting to see. All right, so that's tomorrow, and I think that's why the market was down today. It's just dropping before the FOMC meeting. That's kind of what I saw here. Not much else was happening otherwise that I saw, at least. Maybe I missed something, but that's all I saw here. MicroStrategy, again, was down today, 3.77% on the day. Bitfarms is down 8%, right? Yesterday, remember, I talked about how the miners are actually trading sideways. Maybe they have bottomed out. Well, somebody reminded me that no, they haven't bottomed out yet. So they still can go down a little bit more here. BitDeer, same thing, right down 9.49%. Cypher was down 8% as well. I mean, that one's still holding up a little bit here, but watch, tomorrow is going to drop down even more. Cleanspark was down 6.53. That one's still holding up here a little bit. CORZ was down 8.45%. It's had a 2-day drop here. Hive was down 7.43. That one's gone down probably to a recent 52-week low, I'm guessing, on that one. Going all the way back. I mean, geez, yeah, some of these guys have been this low since, wow, 2022, December. Yeah, so we're getting back to those lows on it where they bottomed out in the last bear market. HUD 8 was down 6.8% here. That one, not too bad, still on the upside a little bit. IREN was down 10.34% today. It's also getting close to where it's bottomed out here recently. Mara was down 6.94, also kind of holding that line right there. But then again, watch, tomorrow's going to drop even more. Riot was down 4.64. Wolf was down 9.2. Again, this one's kind of holding that line, more or less. That's what I'm saying. And that line is at that Fibonacci retracement level of, what is that, 0.236. On that one, it's kind of holding that up right now. Kind of surprising by that one. And then the smaller miners were down as well. The ETFs were down also. Bitcoin dominance increased a little bit here. This is on today, but it's been trading downwards. It's up a little bit here on the new day, but it was down. Gold reached 3,000 here, right? So flight to safety, where are people putting their money here? Gold. Let's take a look at how gold has performed here over Bitcoin for the past year. I'm kind of interested to see how that is looking, such as gold for the ticker there. Let's look at Bitcoin here and gold over the last, what are we looking at here? September 2024. So we can maybe get the last year. February. Okay, October, that's too far. November. right around there, pretty close to it. Okay, let's add in here gold. See how that actually works right now. Gold per ounce, same as scale. Gold, yeah, let's just do that. Okay, so gold's actually, I mean, still not outperforming Bitcoin. It's up 49% over the year. Bitcoin's up 138%. It's still 97%. So Bitcoin is still doing better, all right? Even though we're seeing pretty nice rise here in gold. Finally, something happening in gold over, I mean, the prior 10 years or 12 years, whatever it's been, hasn't been great for gold. It's been kind of flat, but now we're seeing it actually kind of pick up a little bit here. And that's interesting. Okay, let's get rid of that one really quick. Where's it at? Dumpster, put it in a dumpster. So that's how today played out. Yeah, it is what it is right now. It is definitely very, very challenging to stay positive in this market with everything going down. I'm sure you guys are feeling it too. And when is it going to end? I have absolutely no idea. I don't think anybody really knows. But I do think in time we will get past this. There's still a lot of people that are smarter than me are still saying that we are going to have a nice rebound later on this year. But it's just a matter of when. And it's probably going to be like Q3, Q4, possibly going to that. So we'll see. All right. So there's that. Bitcoin for the month of March here is down 1.96%. Bitcoin ETF inflows. Still missing a couple of data points here from Invesco, Fidelity, and BlackRock. Probably going to be a red day here. We had a nice day yesterday, but it's going to be probably a red day today. We do have some news stories as well. Bitfarms completes their strategic sale of Waiguzi Paraguay data center to Hive. This is what they had to say about it. They say it's a creative transaction valued at approximately $85 million. Bitfarms to reinvest capital in U.S. growth here, so that's good. Ben Gagnon stated the following: "We are pleased to have expeditiously completed the sale of our Waiguzi site to Hive, allowing us to streamline our operations and further rebalance our portfolio towards North America." Yesterday, they just finalized the deal with Stronghold there. We now anticipate that our year-end 2025 pro forma energy portfolio will be 80% North American and 20% international, marking a significant milestone in our transition from an international Bitcoin miner to a North American energy and compute infrastructure company. So that's good, right? They're steering the ship in a new direction, right? Takes a while to do that, and we'll see how they do going forward here. The CFO there, Jeff Lucas, stated this is accretive sale is expected to significantly reduce our 2025 CapEx requirements while reducing our average power cost by approximately 10%. We plan to reinvest the savings and capital from the sale towards our 1.1 gigawatt U.S. growth pipeline for Bitcoin mining and HPC/AI infrastructure in line with our strategy to grow in the U.S. and diversify beyond Bitcoin mining. Okay, so we're talking about having other revenue streams as well. That's all good and dandy. Hive had to say I had to say something else basically, but here's what they said. Hive said this strategic expansion marks a 317% increase in mining capacity, propelling Hive from 6 exahash per second today to approximately 25 exahash by the end of September. With this acquisition, Hive now has a total of 300 megawatts of mining infrastructure in Paraguay, including its previously announced 100 megawatt project in Valenzuela, which is set for energization by June 2025. The company's global operational footprint will grow to 430 megawatts by Q3 2025, spanning Paraguay, Canada, and Sweden. So I thought they had something in the United States, but maybe they got rid of that. But maybe I'm wrong on that. Here's the phases, right? Phase 1 is expected to be completed by April 1st. Construction is 80% complete, with infrastructure nearly ready. This phase will add approximately 6 exahash of hash rate, expected to be fully operational by Q2. Hive will assume the remaining payments for full energization. Phase 2 is expected to completion by August 31st. This phase will contribute another 6.5 exahash using hydro-cooled ASIC, enhancing efficiency performance. And that is kind of what you get with it. You guys can definitely read the rest of its stuff, but you can see some pictures there as well. This is, I mean, Hive looks at it a good way, and Bitfarms looks at it a good way as well. Hive is going more international, looking for sites that have hydroelectric, whereas Bitfarms is looking more to be in the United States. We'll see which one works out better for each company. Maybe it works out best for both of them, Maybe it's a win-win for them all on that one. All right. Okay, so that's all I got here on the news story side of things. I think there was also a news story from MicroStrategy. They were looking to do an ATM of some amount. I can't remember exactly now. I just saw a little blip on it today on X. If you guys know what that was, definitely let me know. But they're looking to buy more Bitcoin as well. And let's take a look at the craziness that we have here in the market right now based on the enterprise value. That should be not enterprise value versus market cap. Sorry, enterprise value versus market cap. Cap. Okay, that's what it should be. So when we look at enterprise value, I take out the market cap plus debt minus cash minus HODL, right? So here's what we have as far as enterprise value for these guys right now. Mara is still the lead here with 2.7, almost 2.8 billion in enterprise value, followed by Core, then Cleanspark, almost 2 billion here, 1.9 billion. BitDeer 1.5, IREN 1.5 as well, Riot about 1.4, Cypher 1 billion, Hut now 655, Bitfarms at 449 million, and Hive at 82 million. This is our market cap as of today based on the latest data that we have as far as shares outstanding. Mara is getting 4.1, almost 4.2 billion here. So that is definitely a nice increase from where they're being valued at, per enterprise value. Riot at 2.6 billion, so that's definitely better than where they're being valued here. Core at 2.4 as well. That's pretty core. Where's Core? Core 2.4. That's kind of evenly valued right now compared to the enterprise value, right? Market cap to enterprise value. Cleanspark at 2.1, and Cleanspark here is at 1.9. That's kind of close, about 200 million off. BitDeer 1.57. I mean, this is exact right on here. IREN 1.4. And it's at 1.49, so it's actually down a little bit here, market cap compared to their enterprise value at least. Hut 8, 1.1 billion here, and Hut 8 is at 655, so there's definitely some premium there on the market cap. Cypher 1 billion, here it's about almost the same. It's up a little bit over it. We'll look at the numbers down below for the comparison on things. Bitfarms is at 513 million, enterprise value 449, right? Just a slight, very, very small premium there. And Hive here, 252 million compared to 82 million for enterprise value. That's the way things stack up. So now when we actually take a look at market cap minus enterprise value, looking to see what the difference is on these guys, we can see here that IREN right now is basically valued less than their enterprise value. They're 53 million off. Core is 1.4 million off. BitDeer is just 230,000 off. And you got Cypher getting a very, very small premium here, 7.65 million. Bitfarms getting 64 million premium. Hive 169 million. Cleanspark 214 million. Hut 8 getting 474 million premium, a little bit. Riot 1.1 billion. Mara 1.3 billion, almost 1.38 billion on that one. So that's the way things look now, but that's not including their HODL position, right? If we include their HODL position, things change completely here on it. So at that point, if we include the HODL position for like Mara, what that's valued at, adding it to the enterprise value back in, we get them at a negative 2.4 billion here, basically being undervalued in my estimation based on this. Cleanspark 714 million undervalued. Riot 416 million. Hut 8 376. BitDeer 86 million. Cypher 78. Core 73 million. IREN 53 million. Hive negative 47 million, Bitfarms 40 million. All of these guys are basically, if you include the HODL positions that they have there, with the exception of, I think the only one that doesn't have HODL right now is IREN, right? So IREN's the same here for with HODL and without HODL, doesn't really matter. They're negative 53 million. So what is going on here? Why are they being valued so low right now? And it just doesn't make any sense to me, because you do have all that cash that's, well, basically value of Bitcoin. I mean, unless the market actually thinks that Bitcoin is done for this, this round, and it's going down, I just don't get it. This is just complete lunacy, complete insanity, how these guys are being valued right now. And I don't know why. I don't know whether it's just the shorts in the market. There's more participants in it than ever before, really. Are they just gonna basically write them up and then bring them back down so they can make money on both ends of it, on the way up and on the way down as well? I have no idea. I'm guessing that it's a mixture of multiple things. I think it's also the uncertainty in the market with the tariffs, everything else. I just can't figure it out what's happening here right now. But I know the market is down because of the tariffs, fears of recession, fears of whatever it might be. There's just plenty of fears going around right now in the market that's driving it lower. We got the FOMC meeting tomorrow as well. That kind of maybe drove things down a little bit. Just to, people are cautious on here. Not Bitcoin's going up. Gold's going up though, so people are cashing out of markets and going into gold. going into safer assets, I guess. And until that changes, we might be in this kind of phase where we are going down a little bit more. But as long as Bitcoin stays above 85,000, or not 85,000, 65,000, I think that's a normal retracement for Bitcoin, at least historically. In the bull runs, it would go down, 28, 30%, 35%, 38% even, before it continues going back up further. Time will tell if this is the same scenario that we've had in the past, or if we are in a much different cycle this time around. But I just wanted to point this out to you guys. I thought this was kind of interesting here. Here's all the data that I pulled into it, right? This is just a copy of this data up here, but I just wanted to have different tables for the charts. So the charts look nice for you guys here, but this is all in here, and I'll include this obviously for you guys that are Patreon members as well. Link for that is down in the description if you want to have access to all these things as well. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that these things are just being ridiculously undervalued right now, including their HODL position and all that stuff? To me, it just does seem like that. But I'm obviously not the market maker here. There's bigger players, bigger fish. I would be what? The market would be probably called, what are those little, like a tadpole or something, where you got the whales, right? That's kind of the way I look at myself. I'm just a little tadpole right now in the water. Well, you got, huge whales doing the bidding as they wish on it. All right, that's it. Let's get into Q&A here. We'll get into the quarterly metrics for the miners here tomorrow, probably. I did put all that in, and then let me know if you guys think I should wait until Bitfarms reports. HUT 8 is going to be tough because they changed the way that they segment things out at the end of Q4 compared to what they did for Q1, Q2, and Q3, making it much more difficult for me to actually see how they're doing. I hate it when they do that stuff, but it is what it is. So let's get into Q&A here, but let me know if you guys think I should wait for Bitfarms or do it without Bitfarms. I have all my data already set up anyways as it is. As always, if you guys could preface the questions with a question mark or Q, I'd appreciate it. I'm going to scroll my way up a little bit here for any questions that you guys have already posted, and I'm going to work my way down, and if not, we'll make it easy. All right. Things already covered here in the comments. Okay, Anon has a question. Big news X today was Trader Max capitulated on Cleanspark. Yeah, I saw that today, yeah. He sold his position at 42% down. Surprised that he didn't dollar cost average in, but maybe, he put in what he wanted to put in. Lesson learned there. He got in also at a higher price on these guys, like a lot of you guys did as well, which I definitely feel for you guys. You guys got in at, 14, 15, even some people got in at like $20, $24 on some of these guys, including Cleanspark here. So, yeah, definitely not a great feeling, I guess, if you're down that much. Okay. MuteX says, when BTC starts its next big move up on miners, will RIP 2. When will that happen? Nobody knows. If you're too impatient for that, then sell and move on. Yeah, nobody knows on that one. And people have definitely been selling here. Ryan has a question. Hey, Seb, given the 126-day downward trend of Bitfarms since 269, is there a risk we're being trapped in a value trap rather than accumulating at a discount? There's always a risk. Right, we think the market will probably rebound later on, but if that doesn't happen, then yeah, we're in a value trap, right? Yeah, a big part of me, I would say still like over 75, 80% of me believes that we will have a bounce later on in the year when things kind of cool off a little bit with everything that's going on in the world and everything else. But I could be wrong on that, we'll see. Let's see. Mortim says the Chinese, Canadian, Mexican, and European stock markets are outperforming ours. Tom Lee thinks this means they think Trump is negotiating. Otherwise, the markets would be doing worse. I think he's also negotiating. Maybe I don't like his negotiating tactics. I think there's a better way to negotiate than making enemies or friends in the process. But that's just me, right? He's doing it his way. He's the president. People voted for him. Okay, let's see how he does. But that doesn't mean I have to be not kind of, but that doesn't mean I have to like it, right? I have my opinions. I would have done things differently. I'm sure everybody else would have done things differently as well. Or maybe done even things more aggressively. Everybody is different on those types of things. So right now it's a lot of pain because of it. And we'll have to wait and see if that works out for us in the long run. So I'm hoping for the best, right? I'm not happy with the way he's handling it, but I wish him the best, and I hope he gets it done the way, that's beneficial to everybody involved, including the United States. Let's see. BJ says, that's the problem. Miners don't really follow Bitcoin anymore. Too many proxies now. Miners are the least attractive. That could be it as well. There's more vehicles for people to get on board. You got the ETFs. You got, MicroStrategy. You got anything else you really want to think of. There's a bunch more out there, right? So that could be it. But the miners, right, we're looking at a short period of time when the miners are actually going down right now. They haven't done so well in the last, I would say, probably 12 months, 8 to 12 months for the most part. But if you look further out, they've actually done pretty good. They're still up from their bottoms for the most part. But yeah, it's definitely not a great time to be in, or at least right now. But this might be a good buying opportunity depending on how you look at the market and you think the market's going to bounce, then this might be a good buying opportunity. Okay. All right. Is there a real risk to buying Bit? Oh, we already talked about that. Let me see. Oh, no, maybe not. Buying Bitfarms sub $1. Would you buy if it were hypothetical to hit 80 cents? I was buying it in the bear market when it got down to 40 some cents, I think, 40, 30 cents. I was buying at that point. Right, it's just, do you have a belief that Bitcoin's going to go back up to a new all-time high, 150,000, 200,000, whatever it might be? If you believe that, then this might be a buying opportunity right now. Morton says people should ignore the prices, the miner prices. All that matters is the price of Bitcoin. Everything else is noise. Yeah, but it's a painful noise for some people, right? Including myself. Like I said in the last night's stream, I'm down on Bitfarms, IREN, Mara. The only one that's keeping me up is actually Cleanspark. Let's see. Miner DJ says BTC will trade lower to sideways till Q4. Okay. How much lower do you think? All right, let's see. Okay, IREN down 10%. That's what happens with a 1 billion ATM. You think they're using the ATM right now? They might be. I would say, they should have plenty of cash anyways. They had 400 some odd million from the convertible note. That I just don't see them diluting right away, but maybe they are. But if that was the case, they would be down more than other miners would be down. And everybody else was down 9, 10% on the day as well. So I don't think that was the case. Let's see. The Black Knight says, I just hope Bitfarms makes a 3x at least. Time opportunity loss was huge. Yeah, if you're trading these things, how can I put this? If you're trading them right, you want to try to swing trade them as fast as you can. But historically, if you just invest in the S&P 500, you're probably not going to be getting a 3x over a year or two on those performances. On an S&P 500 or something like that, you're getting, 10%, 12% returns a year, right? And we're complaining that we're not getting 3x% or 2x on these guys over 2 years. Those are great outperforming figures for the S&P, the NASDAQ, whatever it might be. But it comes with some strings attached. The strings attached are volatility. We have huge run-ups, we have huge run-downs as well, but that's the price we play to play in this field, I guess. Let's see. Benny says, Seb is just the market. Every good stock is getting hit. Nvidia, Tesla, Palantir, Apple. Yeah, Tesla's definitely getting hit. On that one, I could possibly talk to you guys about Tesla and Elon Musk for probably 15, 20 minutes alone. Just my thoughts on what's going on there. But I'll spare you guys my thoughts on it there. Miner Genius says Bitfarms is trash. Ron has a question here. Should miners consider buybacks to instill confidence for shareholders, or any other approaches you'd want to see management boards? Yeah, we'd definitely like to, I don't know. That's a tough one because these guys are still growing, right? We want them to grow. You got Cleanspark growing, you got IREN growing still, you got Mara still growing, Riot's kind of on hold right now, but everybody else is growing. Bitfarms is growing, Hive is growing as well. So I don't know. Yes, it does instill some confidence in the market when the CEOs purchase or something like that, but You even saw Ben Gagnon buying shares in the company when it was, what was it, $1 something, almost $2, I think it was. And this stock's still continuing to go down, right? It's just the market that we're in right now. So I don't really think that matters, really. They could be buying all that they want. I mean, unless they're going to be buying, 20% of the shares outstanding or something like that, that might make a sizable dent in it. But they're going to be buying 10,000 shares, 100,000 shares, whatever it might be. That's not going to do much, especially in the market that we're in right now, at least. All right. Do you think Bitcoin will hit 100,000 by the end of March? Anything is possible with Bitcoin. I think the chances are pretty low. I would say maybe less than 20% that happens actually right now, but I could be wrong on that. But we get one good news story. We get, Fed coming out tomorrow. We're lowering interest rates. We could be going up higher. So it's just one of those things. RBG Boxing says Gryphon mining is the way to go. B82 has a question. If BTC has peaked in this cycle, what will be the bottom? I'm thinking it is near the profit level for the mining. Last cycle we went down to 15.5, right? I was calling for 13.5. I was off by 2,000 on it in 2022. This time around, I was thinking if Bitcoin actually goes to 180,000, we would be down to like around 63,000 for the bottom on Bitcoin. So that would kind of be right around where the miners would be if things stay the same for network hash rate. That would be kind of their break even for electricity at least. For the most part on these guys. Some guys are actually lower than that, some guys are, but on average it would be right around there. That's why I still think we're going to be going up higher. It just doesn't make much sense that we went from a previous high of 69,000, got up only 40,000, what is that, roughly, from 69,000 to roughly 70,000, so we went up roughly 50% from the previous top to the current top. That seems kind of low. Okay. Guy, do you still believe in that Cleanspark will move back to 17-ish in 2025 if BTC remains between 80 and 90,000? If it stays between 80 and 90,000, no. We would need Bitcoin to go more towards like 180, 190,000. At that point, I would believe that they would get back to 17, probably closer to like maybe 20 even, if not higher, depending on how fast Bitcoin moves. That's the other part of it, I think. This time around, Bitcoin takes its sweet time a little bit sometimes to move, and it goes sideways for several months. The last cycles we had Bitcoin within, what has it been, like 5-6 months, go up to new all-time highs, parabolic rises, and that's when the miners were following suit. They were going up like a rocket as well, and maybe that's what's different this cycle compared to last cycles also. MuteX, if miners fall another 50%, say I personally will hold until the next halving and the next pump. Would you do the same, Seb? I just can't let the money managers win. I would have to think about that if I would want to hold again. Like I said, right now I'm still in the green a little bit on these guys. Would I hold until then? Yeah, I don't know. But I'd have to wait. Right now, my timeline is for the end of this year, right? See where we end up by then. And if things don't change for us here, then maybe I'll just take the money that I put into it, which is quite sizable, and maybe invest in something else for the time being until we do bottom out again, and then maybe buy some more when things do bottom. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not thinking about that just yet. All right. BT2 says, I think the ETFs along with MicroStrategy and the shrinking mining award may have BTC breaking from pattern tied to halving. Well, the ETFs I think are having an impact for sure. MicroStrategy to a certain extent, yes. I think most of it is through the institutions, the big money. I think that's having more of an impact than anything else, which then could result in a different cycle where it could be an extended cycle also. Right? I don't think the big money players are going to want Bitcoin to drop 70% from the top here. I think they just want to kind of go up, go down a little bit, go up, go down a little bit, and continue that pattern going forward. But I could be wrong. All right, let's see. Black Knight says, bull run is over when 200 simple moving average equals last cycle all-time high on the weekly chart. I'm still bullish. Let's take a look at it. So let's take a look at that. Weekly. Okay, so you're talking about the weekly 200 simple moving average. Okay, that's what I got here. From last cycle top. Let me see. From last all-time high on weekly chart. All-time high. So let's take a look at it here. so we can figure this out. So here's this on the weekly 200 simple moving day average. As long as it stays above the previous top. Previous top was here, well, over here, so we're still below that, it looks like. But yeah, you can see that last cycle, it took a while for us to get up there. I mean, we bounced off of it here, so kind of look at it here also on the 50-day moving average. We bounced off of it here, went up, bounced off it here, which kind of coincides here a little bit. And then we finally had that run up to 69,000, and then we went down and followed it. So we might have another bounce up here, but last time at least those corrections, this one was extended, this one was kind of weird because the reason for it was the China banning of Bitcoin mining. But the prior cycles here, you can see that it was definitely different. We had a much stronger parabolic rise, right? And then a crash. That was it. This time around, we had a double top. What if this time we have a triple top going forward, that we just go back up, come back down a little bit, go back up further? I don't know. It is definitely much different than what we've had here in the past. You can just see it on the weekly chart and everything else. It just screams differently to me. But we shall see. Unfortunately, we got to wait. We got to be through it. So yeah. WP says patience. Miners will pump hard. I'm still of the same opinion there. BT2 says, I bought some Bitfarms and Hive today. Nice. Do you think these miners can do 5x from price they are now? From now? Again, that's if Bitcoin goes up to 200,000, 250,000, then yes, I would think that they would do that. Somewhere around there, they should be able to do that. 3 to 5x, I think, is doable. They could do even better than that. But depending, again, on the acceleration of the Bitcoin price going up, time-wise, is it a shorter time frame or is it a longer time frame? If it's a longer time frame, it might be a little bit harder for that. So yeah. Kidnash says, I think we break 84,500 tomorrow or tonight. It will be a real plus sign. If that happens, that would be a plus sign for sure. All right. Morton says, there is so much fear, but consensus is building that the Fed cuts by May or June, and then we are risk on. People need to wait and not panic. Very, very good points there, yes. Gary says, Bitfarms dilution must be crazy with price at $1 per share. Not a great time to be expanding. Yeah, hopefully they don't have to use the ATM for a while. They got the money from the Paraguay site that they sold, or Yaguza site. What is it, 85 some million there. And then they used some of that, maybe, I don't know if they used part of it, but they had cash on hand. But right now is not the time you want to be doing the ATM for sure. All right. What are your thoughts on Bitfarms moving towards more hosting? I'm not a fan of hosting. It's limited upside potential from that. So based on that, I'm not a fan of it. And then depending on the contract you have in there, things happen, things change in the electrical market and the electricity market. And then you could be on the hook for actually losing money, where we saw that with Riot. We saw it also with Mara paying, Mara was different a little bit because they were paying hosting companies to host their machines. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of that. Drago says I'll buy Mara at 6. Okay. More Tim question here. On a relative basis, IREN falling more than Cleanspark because of growth scare. Who has more upside, Cleanspark or IREN, if go into a full run? I mean, growth-wise for Bitcoin mining, they're both are going to be growing the same amount, roughly. Cleanspark might be growing a little bit more than them. IREN has not provided anything beyond like 50 some exahash plus. The growth for IREN is going to be from HPCI, because IREN does not have any HODL. Cleanspark does have a HODL, so they could also benefit from that going forward. So it's kind of tied right now, just depending, does IREN get a HPCI deal or not, and then where does Bitcoin actually go? No, Seb, if Feds lower interest rates tomorrow, it will spook the market for sure. Instead, they need to say the market is fine and they will be cutting rates as per their schedule. I would agree with you there, right? I'd be surprised if they cut the rates tomorrow. Unless they really think the economy is going down the drains or something like that, maybe then. But their mandate is to have 2% inflation and high employment, right? So we still have that right now. Okay, Spin says Bitfarms will get to 9 a share with their 10-to-1 split. Well, then they would be actually at $10, because where are they at right now? Well, they're under, I think they're like $1 or less than $1. All right. see. Benny says, Seb, please watch Mark Newton Bitcoin interview on YouTube. He predicted Bitcoin to hit 109 range and then come back down to 75.80. He works with Tom Lee, and they strongly think Bitcoin will run soon. All right. I know, I follow Tom Lee, so I know who he is, but I haven't heard about Mark Newton. I'll have to look into him. Let me write that down. Oh, before I forget, Mark Newton. Okay, Mark Newton. I'll probably watch that afterwards here. All right, thank you for that suggestion. Jeffrey says, too many miners now all over the world, plus dilution. It's sad boys right now. Yes, there's definitely more miners than we had in the past, but they've grown a heck of a lot more. They've also taken market share from other companies. So you get something for something, I guess. All right. What was the last cash balance reported for IREN? I'd hope they aren't using their ATM right now. For Q4, this is going back a couple months here. Let's take a look at it. I thought it was actually pretty good here. IREN. All right, let's go back to here, screen. Down here, IREN going all the way Q2. That's their Q2 or Q4 assets. Cash and cash equivalents, they had 427 million at that point, right? They got the 400 some odd million in convertible notes, so they should be okay. I don't think they should be using the ATM just yet. But that's just me. I'm not on the inside there. I don't know what's actually going on. What are they buying right now and things like that. So, all right, let's go back here. All right, let's see. If miners only go up 2x, we are cooked. Depending when you bought into them, yes. If you bought them in at a higher price, yeah, you're probably not going to do too well. So you probably want them to go at least 3 to 5x at this point. Okay, let's see. El Chill says, Cleanspark is at a real crucial monthly resistance since this bull run started back in December 2022. If 722 doesn't hold, it will go back to 4-ish. Mara chart is worse, already broke through. Savage. Okay. Well, that wouldn't be good. All right, let's see. We got a couple more questions. Do you think Bitfarms should buy back shares at the moment or invest it all for future growth? They're going to need it to invest in future growth. If they're going to try and do anything with the sites that they got from Stronghold, they're going to have to use that right now. I mean, they got 500 million shares roughly right now that I calculated at least. Based on the recent purchase of Stronghold. Don't know what this is going back from numbers that they reported for Q3, so off a little bit there possibly. But you get 500 million shares. I mean, yeah, I would say use the money to grow. As long as Bitcoin still goes up, I think they'll do okay. Okay, Benny says, Mark Newton is the head of technical strategy. LOL, Tom Lee basically listens to him, and so far he has been pretty correct. His interview makes you think more logically about what is going on. Okay, cool. I'll definitely check it out. Jeffrey said, I dumped my Cleanspark today. I couldn't take it anymore. All right. Yeah, thanks for sharing with us. I know it's not easy. You're down 30%. That's rough. I mean, you got to know what your tolerances are like, right? So can you make that up in next year or two? I think so. I'm pretty sure you can. There's always going to be these kind of challenges that challenge you, that test you. But as long as you don't give up and you maintain your determination to succeed, I think you'll do fine. It's just there's times where you're going to be tested for sure. All right, let's see. Okay, Nathan, dump at the bottom, smart. Some people, I mean, that's kind of, some people have a point where they will only go down to, and that's fine. So I'm not going to bash anybody for doing that. You're down 30%, okay. But he might be up on other things as well. So Chuck Gayer here, do you anticipate any of the miners you're following going out of business if the price continues to drop to prices under 50,000? No, the miners still have, a lot of these guys have great balance sheets, which they didn't have last time. Much better balance sheets here currently. They also have, majority of these guys have a sizable hodl position. They can use that to stay afloat. They also can use the ATMs to stay afloat. So no, they're not going bankrupt. Let's see, why do you think Bitfarms is so behind in last year's results? The quarterly results or the fiscal year end? Yeah, I'm not sure what the reason is for that. I know that they had, what did they do? They updated some of their quarterly results going back because they had some errors or something like that in there. They corrected those things. I don't know if that's a result of that. I'm not sure. All right. Is it me or Mara is the worst performing asset? I thought I bought in bottom 16.9, and now, God bless, I didn't buy Ethereum. Yeah, I mean, all these miners haven't been doing well here in the last, I would say, 12 months. They kind of peaked around here last year, and then they were going down, and they've been coming down ever since. They had some rallies and things like that, but it never got back to where they were. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody's having fun with us. It might be the big guys that are having fun with us right now. Let's string us along a little bit here. Let's see. Triad says, question, my friend have over 800,000 shares in Cleanspark. Do you think he is crazy? Depending when he got into him. If you got in to him at the bottom in December of 2022, he's probably doing pretty good. All right, can he do even better? But yeah, that's definitely a lot. But he's probably not the only one that's got that much. I wish I had that much. Okay. All right. I think I've caught up to all you guys' questions here. So tomorrow we got the FOMC meeting coming up. We'll talk about that, see how that plays out. We'll see how Bitcoin and miners do as well because of it. Like I said, I think as long as Powell stays hawkish, or not hawkish, dovish, things will be good. If he stays hawkish, we might go down some more. Yeah, fun times to be alive in, right? But that is all. I greatly appreciate you guys coming in here as always. I'll definitely take a look at Mark Newton, see what he has to say. So I greatly appreciate that. But yeah, stay positive. You know, stay. What's the word I'm looking for? Be kind still, right? I know a lot of you guys are going through hard times right now, but try to be kind to others still because of it. Don't take it out on others because there's nothing worse than maybe you being down financially and then you taking it out on your spouse or something like that because of it. Don't do that. Stay positive. I still think we're in like a correction phase with Bitcoin right now as it is. But that's all. Just try to be good. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you all. See you then.